Hello and welcome. All of us have seen a lot of videos and read a lot of books explaining the theory behind Refactor or Rearchitecturing cloud migration strategy. If you want a detailed and practical explanation of the strategy, you can find a link to this video here, and the link on this video also present in description below. But in today's video, I want to go beyond the theory. I will show you real examples of companies that implemented the Refactor or Rearchitecturing strategy, where this strategy worked well, where it didn't work, and the most important why. Together we will look at real success and fail stories, so you can better understand not just the theory, but how the strategies actually play out in real cloud migration projects. Practice often teaches much more than theory, and these examples will help you see what to do and what to avoid, if it's possible, of course. Before we proceed, if you find this content helpful, please like and subscribe. Your support helps grow our community and signals to YouTube that this channel provides valuable information. I very appreciate your help in sharing knowledge. So, one of the most important and famous examples is Netflix. After initially using lift and shift to move to AWS, they later refactored key parts of their architecture to build a truly cloud-native platform. They redesigned their backend systems to use microservices, implemented global content delivery optimizations like CDN, and adopted advanced automation across their stack. The result was not just better performance and scalability. It was a complete transformation of how their systems were built and managed. This gave Netflix the ability to stream to millions of users at once, with very low downtime, while continuing to roll out new features faster than before. Capital One also followed the refactor approach for its digital banking platform. After moving to AWS, they rewrote several parts of the application stack to use serverless technologies like AWS Lambda and Amazon DynamoDB, etc. By doing this, they reduced operational complexity and scaled the systems on demand, improving both speed and customer experience. But this wasn't just a technical move. It's supported by a long-term strategy of becoming a technology-driven company. They invested heavily in engineering talents, built internal tools, and promoted cloud-first thinking across their teams. Another strong case is Adobe, which re-architectured its creative cloud backend to be cloud-native on AWS. They moved away from monolithic systems and adopted microservices and containerization to serve millions of users globally. The effort took time, of course, but it enabled faster updates, improved service reliability, and supported the global user base more effectively than their previous setup. Refactoring also helped Airbnb scale its booking system to handle global travel demand. By adoption a microservices architecture and by moving to scalable data platforms like Amazon Aurora and Redis, Airbnb gained performance improvements and made it easy to develop new features in parallel. Their refactoring efforts allowed faster experimentation, which is key for companies working in a highly dynamic market, let's say. And there is another important story I want to highlight. One of the biggest rent-a-car companies in the world decided to use the refactor strategy during their cloud migration. Their core business platform was still based on COBOL, running a monolithic architecture. In many industries like banking, insurance, and even transportation, COBOL applications are still widely used today because they are stable and reliable. But there is a growing problem. Very few engineers know COBOL anymore, and even fewer want to learn it. This creates a major business continuity risk. Because of this, the company decided not even to try a simple lift and shift or a platform migration. From the beginning, they chose the refactor path. They started splitting the functionality of their core services into small, independent parts and developing them from scratch based on cloud native principles. They focused first on the most critical parts, like booking system and customer-facing applications, and planned to move gradually toward less critical services or maybe services ready to be retired. This is a very long process. It requires time, investments, and careful coordination between IT and business teams. But it gives them a platform that can grow and adapt for the future, while avoiding the risks tied to legacy systems and rarer skill sets. This smart, forward looking decision is helping them stay competitive today and will help them lead the market tomorrow. But not every refactor story has a happy ending. A good example of that comes from a large e-commerce company that began a refactor migration to the cloud, aiming to modernize its monolithic application. The goal was to split it into microservices and host it on Kubernetes. I believe this is a great idea. But the company underestimated how tightly coupled their legacy code. Refactoring took much longer than planned. They missed several product deadlines and had to maintain both the old and new systems at once, which doubled the workload and created confusion across development teams. Eventually, they paused the migration and shifted to a phased approach to reduce complexity. Another tale came from a government agency that tried to refactor critical legacy systems into serverless cloud architecture. The vision was very clear: simplify maintenance and scale automatically. But the reality was a bit different. Their development team lacked experience with cloud native design, and integration with all the systems turned out to be more difficult than expected. After budget overruns and schedule delays, they had to scale back to the project and keep some workloads on premises. These stories show that a refactor is very powerful, but only when you are truly ready. The companies that made it work, like Netflix, Adobe, Airbnb, Capital One, and the global rent-a-car company, all had a clear understanding of what they were rebuilding, strong leadership support, and patience to move through the complexity step by step. The ones that struggled often didn't anticipate how tightly their systems were tied together, didn't invest enough in retraining the teams, or sometimes underestimated the cost and time of full architecture. So, what's the takeaway from these examples? If you are considering Refactor for your cloud migration, please be realistic. It's not just a technical task. It's a full change in how your systems work and how your teams build. But if done with the right planning, the right people, and a strong business case, Refactor can unlock incredible speed, flexibility, and future-proofing that no other strategy can deliver. Thank you for watching, and see you next time.